for all of you who are reading it for the first time, I'm so excited because what it does is it opens the aperture. It allows you to see your life differently. And as you stay more open, more things will show up, more books, more experiences, more conversations that lead you to a more being space for yourself than just doing the whole human thing. So this is the beginning for those of you who don't you feel that way? Those of you who've read it before, that it opens the door for much bigger things. Laura's here with her son, Oliver, who's 13 and in the 9th grade. Laura, what's your question?
So as adults, of course, I mean, we're all engaged in social media now, but we didn't grow up like with social media since we were aware. And my son and all teenagers are in that space. So how, with that immersion or maybe addiction to social media and the stimulation, how can they be truly present?
Well, that's a very big thing, a very big challenge for youngsters, especially these days.
I love what you said. The producer wrote that you said, how do I even begin to teach him this work of being present when they're not present at all during the day and they're continuously fed a bunch of shit?
Is that what I said? Oh, God.
That's what you said. So they're continuously fed a bunch of shit through social media all day that's falsely telling them who they are. How do I break this cycle? How do I even begin to teach him what's inside the pages of this book? Actually, when I heard you were coming in, I was thinking you need a young person's version of this. You do.
Yes.
You need to break it down.
Yes.
And then maybe we all could read that book and feel. And it won't take them a year to get through it. Yes. Yeah, but I can't even imagine, because I'm a person who is on social media and I use it for work and Oprah Daily and all that, but I try to personally keep myself out of it, the storm of it, because it's vicious and vile and all-consuming. It's just, it's getting worse. Don't you all think it's getting worse? Yes. Actually getting much worse.
Yes.
And if you get yourself sucked into that, you can absolutely lose yourself.
Exactly.
If you think who you are is who people are representing you to be online, then you will be messed up.
A huge addiction for many people.
Yeah.
And also becomes part of their egoic identity. They look for recognition, a sense of self-worth.
Well, the likes have become the thing.
Likes, and then they have hundreds or thousands of friends they never even met, in many cases, and then they post all kinds of photos of themselves that are modified by technology. So if they met one of their thousands of friends in the flesh, they wouldn't even recognize them, because it's all make-believe. And this is perhaps the greatest challenge in our civilization, is that technology. If we don't master it, it could easily lead to a breakdown of civilization within 2 generations, because the ability to focus your mind is a vital thing not for creating something new or for solving problems. If you lose the ability for prolonged focus, as many youngsters do, because the continuous stimulus, shorter and shorter attention spans, if you lose that, then you lose the ability to become creative. You lose the ability to solve problems, because you need to be able to focus. So where are we all? It's our responsibility to restrict our own use of these and to see how addictive that is. I can feel it in myself. I don't use it that much. I don't post things personally, but the moment you interact with that thing, it pulls you in. There's some kind of like a magnet thing. It pulls your attention out of you and goes all in there. So you lose yourself. So first you lose yourself in your mind, but in a way you could say that device is your externalized mind. I wrote in the book, you lose yourself in your mind. And now you not only lose yourself in your mind, you lose yourself in a technological amplification of your mind in the form of this device.
Eckhart believes science and technology have made miraculous changes in the way we live. However, Eckhart believes these advancements contribute to our collective insanity. He says they magnify human dysfunction to such a degree, it's threatening the survival of the planet. Well, let's give Oliver credit because Oliver went to you. Oliver, I think that's so cool. You went to your mom asking for help because you realize yourself you're obsessed with it, right? Because how much time do you spend on your phone?
A good amount.
A good amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can only control it when he's at home, of course. So, I know there's that idea of kids being more reactive. Again, you get the beep, they'll be crossing the street and look at their phone, whereas an adult has the ability not to, but they're so quick to be back on it as soon as anything, buzzes or such.
In some countries, I believe I read something recently, Australia was it, where they're restricting the use of devices for youngsters. How exactly they go about it, I don't know. So at some point, I think we need to arrive at that the point where we restrict, especially very young children, must not use these things or very controlled if they do use it.
So what did you say earlier, that within 2 generations, did you say?
It could be that civilization would collapse if the new generation of you lose the ability to focus their mind on something. How are we going to deal with the problems of the world if we cannot focus anymore? Because any solution requires focused attention. If humans lose that ability, then what's going to happen? So it's everybody's responsibility. If I don't have children, and it's a bit late now, I'm not going to have any in this incarnation. I can say that for sure. But
you never know.
if I had children, I would definitely, in a very gentle way, restrict their use, and they have to get used to this, so that only very gradually allow them extended use, and even then.
I had this conversation with the author of An Anxious Generation, who's also saying some of the same things that you're saying, that you certainly schools and should get together and you should be a certain age and all of that. But the problem is, if all of your friends have it, then you become the odd kid out, you become ostracized, which then begins to shape the way you see yourself and the way the other kids see you. And that in itself is a challenge.
Yes. Perhaps it would take families getting together in neighborhoods.
Well, that's what Jonathan Haidt says in Anxious
Right.
Generation.
The collective then comes to an agreement.
So that you're not the only one.
You're not the only one.